Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Florida. And today our question comes to us from Sophie. And Sophie's question is this. Sophie tells us that she recently did a working that took place over a 2-week period and which included the intent that it should do harm toward none and specifically cause no one's death. Nonetheless, an elderly relative of the age of 94 passed away during this same period, and Sophie is concerned that her ritual could somehow have caused this death. What Sophie has not told me, which is really kind of important to the question, is what kind of ritual this was and exactly why she would think it would have a connection to any relative of hers, or why she would think it would cause a death. It's certainly true that magic can be used in that way, though it should not be, but it can be. But it's not something that one would do casually or accidentally. And it seems very odd to me that you would think this would be the result of the ritual. The one thing that I can think of that might cause a person to wonder that, if it was a ritual of cutting cords to family members who perhaps have been toxic, and if one of those family members happened to die during that period, well, you might wonder. Though even in that case, I would say no, it has nothing to do with your having caused that death. So Sophie, I would say to you, regardless of what the ritual was, you did not cause this person's death. If you are having to ask this question, you are not advanced enough in magical working to have done so. Such things do not just happen casually. It is possible to use magic for major manifestations, either good or bad, though good is preferable and bad is really something you ought not to be doing. But it can be done, but it takes a lot of energy, a lot of focus, and a lot of skill. And so no, you have not accidentally done something like that. However, in the case that I mentioned, where perhaps a person had cut cords to another person who then died, you would not have caused that, but you could have given them permission to cross over by ending your relationship with them at a spiritual level. I do not believe that you would have caused it in that circumstance, and I believe there are many other circumstances in which you can give a person permission to cross over if they have been holding on to you and you let go. But that is not causing them to cross over, it's merely allowing them to. When we're talking about a 94-year-old person, they were probably quite ready to go. Still, I don't think that even in this context that Sophie had anything to do with her relative's passing, because Sophie's question is very basic, which suggests that she was not really in a position to have caused the cutting of a spiritual cord, for example. And in the occasion that such a thing might happen, in the occasion that a person might cross over because you have cut a cord with them, that would not necessarily be a bad thing. It is more in the nature of allowing them to go than causing them to do so. And it's sometimes the case that people will just kind of wait and linger because of some unfinished lesson or unresolved connection. And if you happen to resolve that connection or finish that lesson with them, they will pass quickly. That doesn't mean you caused it. It means they fulfilled their purpose in remaining and then could go forward. Or perhaps you have fulfilled it together. In a case like this, because I don't know what the ritual was, this is about as specific as I can get, but I see no way that a person who is not skilled in working magic could have done such a thing accidentally or otherwise, so I would not worry about it any farther. But certainly there are certain circumstances when you can allow a person to cross over, whether by having cut a cord magically or resolved an issue in perfectly physical ways, which simply allows them to relax and cross where they have been holding on. And certainly also magic can be used in very negative ways by negative people, though it should not be, but it often is. And that is a possibility, but it is not something that's done casually or accidentally. So, Sophie, I would put your mind at ease. And could such a thing be done? Yes. Is it likely that it would ever be done accidentally? I think extremely unlikely. Though it is possible that in the course of your working, depending upon what it was, that final lesson or connection may have been completed and released, allowing your relative to cross. But that's not the same thing as having caused it. So that would be my take on the situation. I hope you find it helpful, and until next time, may you blessed be. Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from witchschool.com. Are you looking for the best in pagan and magical education? With more than 12,000 pages, witchschool.com is like having your own personal library with individual learning assistants to help you study. And Witch School's Anyone, Anytime, Anywhere education system is available any place on Earth, anywhere you are and anytime you want it, as long as you have an internet connection. Witch School's lifetime memberships are a great value. They really do last a lifetime. They've been there for years and they'll be there for years to come. So get your membership today at witchschool.com.